Do you ever wake up one of those mornings and you just felt really good? Yeah, that's today. And I am so excited about this because, whew, boy, I've been talking to different people. I've been doing different things. Now, a while back, I did a video showing you the Cadco portable burner, right? And canning on it as an option if you have a glass top stove, okay? And it worked okay. My caveat to that was that if you had to get above, 10 to 11 PSI, that probably not for you. And come to find out, so Sandra, one of our longtime dazers, sent me an email because she uses it all the time for canning. And when I tested it out, I went, it'll work. It doesn't work as great as I want it to, but it'll work, And then come to find out, Sandra uses her 16 quart on that and has been using it for years, and it works really good. So if you want, I'll link the Cadco down below. Okay, I get it. So if you have a 16 quart, perfect. I'll link that video also. However, it wasn't what I wanted. I have this problem with perfection, and I'm so far from it. Hello, everybody, and welcome to SuttonsDaze. If you're new here, my name is Lisa, and we are all about pantry preparedness, my friends. Probably one of the most common questions that we get is, can I can on a glass top stove? Now, that is 100% up to each stove manufacturer, each stove model. They are not the same. Age will determine, okay? The model will determine. The weight that it will accept will determine. The fact that somebody at Presto decided it was a good idea to move the canner right after it's done processing, that will scratch the heck out of your stovetop. Now, I don't know about you, but when I replaced our old stove with our new one, nobody's going to drag anything across the top of that stove, not for what I had to pay for it. So, not an option, okay? And going out and buying a new stove, not necessarily an option either. However, I have a cheaper solution for you. Yes, I do. And we're going to walk through all of it. I'm going to show you how it works. I'm so excited about this because I think this is the perfect option. As you know, if you've been here, I have my stove with the oven, and then I have my canning cooktop, which is propane that we retrofitted so that it would be propane, and I can on this. I do not use my canners on my glass top stove. I have no intention of ever using a canner on my glass top stove. So this will allow me to actually run 2 canners at the same time. Watch out, ugly chicken, yes. And it's going to be phenomenal. But if you just need an option, if you're living in a small space, if you don't want to deal with, possibly screwing up your stove, if you have the coil top electric stove, I did a video long time ago, because for a lot of years I used it. When I first started canning, I had the electric stove with the coil burner on it. Gas is not really an option here. I would have to have them replumb everything and bring propane over here. It's, way, way more expensive. So I had an electric stove with the coil top, and I canned on it. Well, eventually, because I can a lot, the weight of the canner bent the coil so that it actually heated up and discolored my stovetop. It was not good. It was not good. And I found the coil to put on there, okay, so that it raised it up higher. It was meant for canning. It couldn't be used in certain stoves, certain models, or not models, but certain brands you couldn't use it on. However, I have since become aware of the fact that different brands now do have their own specific coil top for canning. Yay, that's fantastic. But for the most part, yeah, you're just kind of stuck. And they are, for safety regulations, okay, they are creating these new cooktops with the button in the top so that the heat actually cycles on and off once it runs at a certain temperature for so long. That doesn't work for canning. No, because we need that constant steady temperature so that it cans properly, okay? When it starts fluctuating, that's when you get things like siphoning, failing, all the fun stuff. So we found a solution. Did I mention we found a solution? Boy, did I wake up in a good mood today. Okay, let me show you the solution. For the solution, you're going to need 2 things, which is kind of unfortunate, but it is what it is. This is a brand new canner to me, okay? This is a Presto induction canner. So it comes with the weighted regulator, okay? I installed the gauge. That was fun. And the bottom of it has all these little bumps in here, okay? Integral, very integral to it. But this is an induction canner. I cannot use this on my canning stovetop. Can't do it. No, I will ruin it. And, well, we don't want to do that. So I bought it specifically so that I could use it on this. Now, this is going to make my life super califragilistic, okay? Because now I don't have to rely on, on finding someplace that has a kitchen in order to teach canning, which just, oh, it makes it so much easier. But now I can teach canning and just pop this little bugger around with me as long as I have a plug. And guess what? It doesn't require a 220. The only Cadco that I found that would work without fail, okay, is for any size canner, is a 220 Cadco, which has that special outlet. That just, no, that doesn't work. That works in any outlet here in the US. If you are not in the US and you have a different kind of setup, I don't know what to tell you. Okay, I'm sure there's adapters or something to that effect. I don't know, but definitely I'll link you to this so that you can take a look at it. This is the Ducktop induction cooktop. So induction cooktop, induction canner. Big thing there. And we're going to run through and set this up. But before we go through all of that, and I'm just, like I said, I am not willing to test it, okay? Don't throw out this book. If this comes with your canner, because it does if you buy it new, this book comes with your canner. And right here on the front, it says, works on gas, electric, coil, and smooth top, and induction ranges. Now, even though it says this, I would still call your stove manufacturer, email them, do whatever. Google them, my friends. You can get the number, okay? And find out if you can on the model of stove that you have. It has to be the model, because if it's an old one, there's a good chance that it's not built to the same degree that they are today, you know? So it's something to keep in mind. Now, we're going to get started with this. But I can cook dinner on this if I want to. You know, I'm just super excited. It has a lot of really great stuff, and we are going to test it out. It has different temperature things. So for canning, we're going to use the boil, which is a button right here that says boil, okay? This is gonna be hot. So they say don't set it, if you have, you know, a stove, don't set it on the stove. Set it someplace else, because any pilot lights that are underneath, if you have a gas stove or something, could make this even hotter. Not a good thing. Not a good thing. So I'm actually going to see how this works on my oak countertops, because, you know, I love these babies. But we're going to test it out and find out what kind of fun we're going to have today. Okay, so first we're going to plug it in. I had to do a little rearranging because of outlets. Okay, so when you first plug it in, everything will light up like that. You know you're good. I am going to take my canner and I'm going to put it right on here. I'm going to get my water and I'm going to bring 3 inches of water. I'm putting 3 inches of water in this canner. We keep this old water or juice jug around. We use it to fill the water on the wood stove. We use it to fill the water for the pets. We use it to water plants. This thing gets used a whole bunch, and it's almost 3 inches. Oh, just a little bit more. Well, in my infinite wisdom, I spilled a little bit of, you know, dripped water, and I went to wipe it off and accidentally turned it on, and the fan came on. There's a fan on this thing, you guys, okay? So really super simple. Let me bring you down. I'm not going to bring you down like depress you. I'm going to show you. I'm bringing you your view down. Okay. It has a lock. It has a timer. It has keep warm. Hello. Yeah. It has boil. Okay, raise and lower the temperature. It has a menu, and it has the on and off button. Keep your manual, read your manual. Manuals are beautiful things, even though they are slightly irritating. Yeah, I get it. So you want to make sure that it's on a stable, dry area. Okay, that's important. Obviously, it's electric. You don't want it floating in any water, which is why I hurried up and wiped up the drips there. That's going to be an important factor to pay attention to. Allow at least 4 inches of space around the whole cooktop because it will impact the ventilation if you don't. Okay. Plug the power cord in and wait until the beep. So we heard the beep. And before turning the cooktop on, make sure the ingredients are in the compatible cookware and the cookware is centered on this. So you want to make sure that your canner is centered. Super important. And don't put your other canner on this. It won't be good, I don't think. I think this really needs to stick with compatible. Okay, so once it is plugged in, we can start the cooking process in 2 steps. It's 2 steps, my friends. It's going to be great. So we want to press the on-off button, right? Then press the menu button. It has a default setting of 5.0. We're going to start there, but we want to boil. And then we're going to set the timer. I don't think we need the timer, right? But I'm going to set it for, so you press timer, you know. Yeah, it's the new stuff, Lisa. And then you increase the time that way. Okay. 59. There we go. Okay. So you can definitely change the hour. That's what I wanted to make sure. You just have to play around a little bit. Okay. We're going to set it for an hour because we're not going to use it that long. I'm not legit canning anything right now. I just want to bring this up to temp so that you guys can see what's going on. I hit the boil and it readjusted the timer again. Okay. So we're going to reset that. And now we just put the lid on, okay? So I'm gonna put the lid on, okay? And we'll let it come up to temp. I'm going to time this to find out how long it takes to come up to temp. Handy dandy book, right? So while that is coming up to venting, I thought that I would note this is an induction cooktop, induction canner. Got to do it as a set. You really do. Okay. And so an all-American would not be good for this. Not only because A, it's not induction, but B, because it's over the weight limit for that. So they actually have a weight limit on it. It says 25 pounds, but you can can on them. A lot of people successfully can on them. So would I do an all-American? No, an all-American I think weighs pretty close to 25 pounds on its own, let alone full. So yeah, stick with the induction canner and the induction cooktop. I'll have links for both down below. I am super excited about this. Now, I'll also have a link to the video where I reviewed the Cadco burner. I did not review the Cadco burner with the 220 because I don't have a 220 plug. Another reason I don't have a freeze dryer. Okay, so it's just the electrical in this house is what it is, and I'm not rewiring it to test out a Cadco burner. Theoretically, if you have a devoted plug, that's great. I do get why, I just don't get how people can outside between the wildlife and weather and temperatures and everything else. To me, canning outside would be, that would be a challenge. Yeah, especially this time of year. I mean, hello. Yeah. So being able to can in your home, in your environment, being able to, hey, guess what? It's 100 degrees outside. I'm going to can outside. I'm going to take this bad boy out there and do it. Yes, I am. I'm still going to do it early enough in the day so that I don't have to worry about the raccoons or the possums or whatever else coming in and messing with my jars, you know, at night. But yeah, this opens up so many possibilities. So to my friends who live in small apartments or who live in RVs or tiny homes or something like that, this is the answer to our prayers. And for my friends that have glass top stoves, stop dragging that canner across the top. Oh my God, you are damaging that stove. Unless you have this really great desire to buy a new stove soon, don't do it. Glass top stoves just are not really great for canning. It's just the way that they are. Are they pretty? Yeah. Are they a pain in the butt to keep clean? Oh yeah, they are. Okay. But I wouldn't can on them, and I definitely wouldn't drag a canner across it. Okay, let's get back to getting this to vent. As a side chat, okay, I have been looking for this since one of my buddies, John Bentley in Canada, started teaching classes. And I said, what burner are you using? And he showed me something very similar to this. The link that he sent me, though, you know, no go. And And I don't know if his are, I don't know any of the details about his. But anyway, thanks, John. But then my favorite master food preserver, her and I were discussing it because it's been driving me crazy. And finally, her master food preserver group, I tell you what, this is almost enough to make me want to move to the Pacific Northwest, okay? Her group is on top of it big time. So they actually purchased one of these or a couple of these so that they could start teaching classes and be more hands-on with the students. This is amazing, okay? I will put a thing out there. If you're going to decide to start teaching classes, have your liability insurance, my friends, okay? And number two, you want to make sure that you're teaching safe and proper methods. So somebody emailed me and said, hey, I was talking to somebody at MSUE, Michigan State University Extension, complete waste of space. And apparently what she found out, which nobody has ever told me, even though I've been literally dogging them about this for a decade, okay, is that their attorneys had them cancel the canning, the master canning thing, because the people that were out there teaching were teaching rebel canning. Why would you go through an entire program to teach the polar opposite? Somebody tell me. So apparently their attorneys said this is a huge liability. Now, because I'm a grown-up, I know there are ways around this, okay? I know that there are ways to make it work. So I still say that MSUE is being exceptionally lazy and not finding a way to make it work, because the people are out there that want to learn, and they're learning from people that can macaroni and cheese. Remember, I pressed boil. It actually shows the little boil, the little teapot icon, so that you know that that's where it's set at. We can tell it's heating up. We're starting to spit out a little bit of water. That's absolutely normal. If any comes out of here, that's absolutely normal. It's what it does. Are you ready for this one? So induction cooking is more efficient than both electric and gas. While gas burning cooktops are only 30 to 35% efficient and cost approximately $1.65 per hour to operate, an induction cooktop costs only 12 cents per hour to operate. We are at 20 minutes and the top lock just came up. And so now we're going to start getting that steady stream of steam. So it did take 20 minutes to get there. I think that's about normal. I don't know. Now I'm going to have to check it out and see. I normally don't really pay attention to it. It is just what it is. Yes, I'm that person. That's what it sounds like. Okay, but we're going to let it come up to a steady stream of steam, which doesn't seem like it's going to take very long at all. This literally has 3 inches of water in it, so I'm not going to run it for the full cycle. But when you are figuring out your time, you are going to want to add extra, because you're going to need it. Otherwise, it'll turn off before your canning session is done. Because once that hits a steady stream of steam and it's run for 10 minutes, that's when we set our timer. So you probably want to add an extra 45 minutes on. Add an extra hour onto your time for giggles, because you can adjust that time to whatever. I think it only goes up to 10 hours, but definitely add the extra time on there for it to come up to pressure, to vent, and then to come up to pressure, so that it doesn't shut off on you. Now I just want to show you. Steady stream of steam. So now is when we would start our timer. I am so excited about this. We have vented our steady stream of steam, and now we're going to put that on. We literally live under a permacloud every single day until I pull out the camera. So the needle is definitely moving. It's moving. There you go. Yep, it's moving. It's probably going to be really hard to see, but I am at about 9 pounds of pressure right now, okay? And from the time I started the heat, I'm at 30 minutes. So it might take a hot minute longer to bring this up to pressure. Not terribly long. Like I said, I have never paid attention to how long it takes to get to this point. I am that person that just goes, it's part of my day. I'm not keeping myself to any tight schedule, you know? So we're just about at 10. I need to be at 11. So it's probably going to be 32, 33 minutes that it took to get up to that pressure. Not bad. Not bad at all. When you turn it off, which I just did, the LED readout flashes hot. Okay. That's going to be hot for a bit. So just leave it alone. Just like always, leave it alone until the canner completely depressurizes, and then still don't count on the fact that that cooktop is going to be completely cool. Okay, so be careful. Be very careful out there. If you have small space, if you don't have a gas or propane stove to can on, if you want to be able to be mobile with your canning, if you want to be able to not scratch your cooktop, right? I think this is an awesome solution. Gas might heat it a little bit faster, which is what I'm used to, honestly. So it might heat it a little bit faster, but not terribly. And this wouldn't put me off at all. Now I have become, oh, the fan just turned off. I have become a very audible canner, okay? So that when I get started, I know, okay, when I start venting, I can hear it. So I can be doing dishes or something else. I don't have to be sitting there staring at the canner, right? And when the jiggler starts jiggling, I can hear it. So I don't have to be sitting there staring at the canner. That makes a really big difference. Being able to audibly do this, not have to sit there staring at it, oh, amazing. So you are going to want to get a weighted regulator to fit on top of there. Let me grab mine. I'm trying to make this so you can see it. Okay, I'm going to do something you shouldn't do if there's jars of food in here, okay? Guess what? My regulator doesn't work. Okay, so I'm going to be relearning some skills again. I'm going to contact Presto directly, and when I get an answer, I will update this video, and I'll kind of throw it out on my Facebook page and my group and the community section to see about a weighted regulator for the induction canner, because the regulator for my other Prestos doesn't fit on there. Won't even fit. So that's good to know, okay? So you work with the regular regulator. I hope that this was helpful for the people that want to can but haven't been able to jump into it because of their situations, because of either their stoves or their surroundings, whatever the case may be. I think this is going to be a great tool. I'm going to be hard pressed to not get a second one for when I teach locally. I think this is going to be a serious game changer. Do I need another canner? I don't need another canner. I really don't. But you do need to have the induction canner with the induction burner, okay? Check out the links down below. Let me know what you think about this. And until next time, be safe. Stack it to the rafters, my friends.